So I got the news today that LKB, my favorite bar back in my hometown Minneapolis, is closing. They're closing for good, and we're in mourning. Please, moment of silence with me. This was really one of my favorite bars in Minneapolis to go to. It was my go-to for everything. So many first dates, so many reunions, so many happy hours and times with friends and introducing friends to loved ones, and man, I'm gonna miss that damn bar. LKB stands for Loring Kitchen and Bar. It was literally one of the best bars in Minneapolis. Announced today that they're closing December 14th of this year. I'm so bummed that I won't get to go to it one last time. It was a really unique bar. I think it's unique in the sense it was right off of Loring Park being a predominantly gay park in Minneapolis, right in downtown. Super great location. It's a beautiful bar restaurant. What I loved about it is at the late night happy hour, it would always turn into like this rowdy mess of gay people, and it kind of slowly just became a gay bar without carrying the title of being a gay bar. And I just remember like there would be summers that I would get to know the staff there so well, and we would frequent it so often. They would get to know you by name and have your drinks ready. The staff there was unbelievable. They had some really amazing people who worked there. It was such a great place. The memories I'm going to miss of that place. I've had sex in that bathroom, y'all. Like, the amount of stuff you could get away with at LKB. It was so fun. And it's one of those places that always had the best little perks. Like when you'd walk in, there was a bowl full of candy bars, so you could take those for if you were starving and the meal would take so long because so many people would go to this place. But then they also had bingo and karaoke. They were the best. It was the best. And it got me thinking with them closing about some of my favorite things about Minneapolis, my hometown, where I love and miss so much. Just reflecting on some of those things, I wanted to share them because it's so cool when you go to a new city and you experience things and find things that you love, but it's so much more fun to go to places that have been recommended or people have praised because they're that excellent, whether it's the customer service or the atmosphere or the food. I mean, honestly, Minneapolis is a gem in the Midwest. It really is a diamond in the rough. And if you get the chance to go, you really should. I remember one of my exes, he moved there for law school from New York City, family Long Island. He had lived in Manhattan before. And he was like, fucking Minneapolis. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? But then he met me and we ended up dating, and the law school thing for him ended, although shout out to William Mitchell's School of Law. I still love some of those peeps he was friends with. Some of the best people I've met in my 20s, and the best partiers ever. Hashtag William Mitchell. But anyways, we had our friends and stuff there, and this whole time we dated, he would be like, why the fuck am I living here? Oh, I blame you, it's because of you that I'm staying here, blah, blah, blah. And then towards the end of our relationship, we dated like 2 years, maybe a little more. Towards the end of our relationship, he had been debating moving back home, but I think finally came to this realization that Minneapolis is this amazing city. And I ended up moving after we broke up. We remained friends for a good chunk of the time. We had our spats here and there, as you do. But I ended up actually moving, and he's still there and still in love with the city. It's really what that city can do to you. If you move there and give it more than a year, you probably won't leave, because there's something about those Minneapolis summers, those nights. Everybody is lively, the streets are busy, everybody's having a beer on the patio. It's one of the coolest cities. I've heard there's other cities that are just like it, like Austin, Texas. I really want to go there too. Shout out to them. But Minneapolis has some amazing like little pockets of gold if you really search for them. And I just wanted to list a few of my favorites that I really miss and I wish I still had, but I'm really certain that these cool businesses exist in every city, and I think it'd be cool to give shout outs to every city. And I would love personal recommendations for when I'm traveling to be like, oh, you have to check out this place. They have the best whatever, you know? And speaking of best whatever, if you do go to Minneapolis, right by the Mall of America, which probably would be my choice for malls, and people of Minneapolis, born and bred, would totally disagree because that mall is chaos and it's overwhelming and it can drain your life force. You literally start to feel exhausted the longer you're in there. But there is something so cool about that atmosphere. It has literally everything you would need from high end to trashy tractor pull store, right? Like, has everything. Restaurants. I think they're building like a casino. It has one of the most beautiful hotels Minneapolis has. And all that's new and great and fabulous. But honestly, the people watching you get at Mall of America, that's why you go. You go to people watch and people avoid. It's really obnoxious. Okay, I get it. It is an obnoxious mall, but it's still worth it. You have to visit. Anyway, off topic. If you want the best pizza in Minneapolis, you go to Fat Lorenzo's. Okay, you just do. And you don't question it. It's right by the Mall of America. Take out your little iPhone, you Google Fat Lorenzo's, and just enjoy. They make their own gelato. That's beautiful as well. But honestly, that pizza, ooh, that's the best pizza in Minneapolis. There are some close seconds, don't get me wrong, but that is the best pizza you will experience in that city, I guarantee you. Another one of the things that is the best part of this city is there are lakes everywhere. Like anywhere you would want to go on a nice, sunny, relaxing day for 3 months of the year. Like, ugh, not enough. Not long enough summers. That's the only complaint. But for those times that you can get out to the lake, they're everywhere. And some of the best, Lake Minnetonka, you can go boating. One of my best summers, my favorite thing to do in 2012 was go out on our friend Jake's boat. Shout out.
Why don't you purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
Some great memories there. Also, Lake Calhoun, amazing for when you want to go oogle the goodies on the frat boys. Okay, can I just say, my friends and I would walk circles around Lake Calhoun, and every time we would pass a dude, he'd get a number, 1 to 10, and we would get so obnoxiously obvious about what we were doing. Guys would walk by and be like, really? A 6? Really? Like, people would stop because they knew what we were doing. It was fabulous. Lake Calhoun has some of the best eye candy. Yeah. Okay. There's also a really, really, really good gay scene in Minneapolis. It's a little tricky. It can be a little, pretentious. It can be a little cliquey, as we say, very Mean Girls-esque, but I think that's literally all cities, and I think that's just culture. That's what's learned, right? So don't blame the city. But it does have that whole Minnesota nice thing going for it. You really have to earn your badge of honor to make it into a friend group in Minneapolis. But I will tell you, when you do get a friend group in Minneapolis, you're going to have the best time because the friendships there, and I think it's honestly the winters. The winters help bond you, and there's something about the complaining spirit, the oh my god, we just got 24 inches of snow and I have to go to work and the roads are awful and the winters are harsh, but there are some amazing gay bars in the gay scene, and although it's not my favorite city for strategically placing the gayborhood, like Chicago has one of the best gayborhoods with Boys Town. Everything right there, you know, even gay shops like barber shops and record stores and underwear stores. I love that. Like, have a gayborhood. I still want my place, right? Like WeHo. Minneapolis, it's really spread out. Some are in St. Paul. Those are ghost lands. I mean, check them out, but they're like, oh, who's going to St. Paul, right? But two of my favorite gay bars in Minneapolis are Saloon, which is the slutty, trashy twink bar where you go and either get jacked up on whiskey sour or cranberry vodka and throw your loose pussy around on the dance floor, or you go just to mingle because it's the best place to hang out with your group of friends. Loud music, really fun DJs, really great bartenders with great spirits. Shout out to you guys. I miss my Saloon bartenders. You guys are awesome. And also Lush. Lush is a really cool bar. It was the bar to get Sunday brunch at. That was the place. You sit out on the patio, gorgeous layout, had like a fire pit and all that stuff. It was a really beautiful bar, although I've heard from a lot of my friends that it's taken a turn for the worst. It actually had a lot of bad luck. a couple years back because there was an incident that involved the owner who was shot and killed by his ex or something. There's some shadiness that went on there. But I hear that ever since that owner was killed and new ownership took over, it hasn't been the same, which is too bad because that place was amazing. So hopefully my friends are wrong and it is still a rockin' good time because I love me a Lush brunch. It was like $8 to $10 for endless mimosas, and their breakfasts were amazing. Great food. Also, for the gay community, there was this gem within a gem of the gay community that you kind of just have to know people to get invited, but it's this house of gays, these fabulous gays. And I'm friends with a couple of them, like Ryan and Seth, and they're great people and big hearts and welcoming and so sweet to all members of the LGBT community. There's some great people to reach out to who really care about everyone. These are some great guys. But oh, and Jesse, I miss you, Jesse. You were a fantastic spirit, cool kid. But they have this house, and they called it the Chateau Fremont, and they just threw these incredibly eclectic queer parties, and you'd have everybody from the Butch Gym Bunny to the fucking bottom queen to the drag and the trans and anybody within the queer community that you could imagine was going to these parties, and they were so fabulous. And they'd have DJs and photographers and a full bar with bartender. Like, they'd really, really hype up these parties. Amazing guys. I miss them. Like, if you're in the Minneapolis Twin Cities area and you're queer and you're looking for a fun place to party or hang out, hit them up. Like, go on Facebook and look up Chateau Fremont. It is the best party you'll go to. They'll probably have something coming up soon. They usually have something once a month. And there's also the flip phone parties. Flip phone was started by this guy that a couple of my friends and myself know, and he just kind of wanted to get gay parties going at straight clubs, so he would rent them out for a night. I believe that's how this started. Ended up calling him Flip Phone, and they kind of blew up. He just took a theme for the night. So one night it would be Britney, tributes, and then Beyonce, and just kind of stupid shit like that. But the queer community in Minneapolis is so cool, and there's such a good camaraderie. Like, you do have to dig for it. You do have to get through the fake. You have to get through the superficial and cut through the bullshit. But once you do, you find some great people, and people who love where they live. Because Minneapolis, you love where you live when you live there. It is a great city. The campus, the U of M campus, beautiful campus. I didn't even go to college at the U of M, but beautiful campus, fun to hang out over there. Lots of cool games. It's one of few cities that does also have 4 major league sports teams. They have Vikings for football. They have the Minnesota Wild for hockey. They have the Timberwolves for NBA, which are my favorite. Don't mock me, but my sister used to be a Minnesota Timberwolves cheerleader, so even though, yes, they were amazing in the 90s, and that's when I loved them, and now they're shit, they'll always have a soft spot in my heart, okay? And then they have the Twins, their baseball team, and it's really kind of cool. There's great hometown pride in all of those teams. It is a really cool city. If you ever get the chance, really take the time, visit it. You'll have a blast. And honestly, if you end up moving there, good luck leaving, because it is hard to leave. The only thing that pushes you away is the winter. It's that damn winter. Because that summer will hook you for life. For real. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video as a tribute to a city that I love, my hometown. The people who live there are really awesome and really shady all at the same time, but I love and miss you all. And honestly, I want to visit more, but always remember where I came from, hometown pride, and I thought this video would be a good representation of that and a few of the things that I would want to share with people visiting. So if you get a chance, check them out, and shout out your love in comments below, okay? Alright, well, saying peace out for now, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Take care.